I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Giants bash their way to a 23-point victory. In an AFC South matchup, we had the Texans win their 5th game of the season. The Chargers won this contest and will now move to 3rd place in the AFC West. Taylor Jacobs had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Arto's Pinner rushed for over 50 yards and helped his Cardinals beat the Colts. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Connor might be the biggest loss on this list. And you can tell from the expression on his face it was a bad one. A ruptured Achilles. And he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Al Wilson is probably the one that most leaps out at you. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. Now the big story of the day. Marvin Harrison is going to find himself on the shelf, and that will be a major blow to his team. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Jets, Saints. Jerome Pathon, he's split out at the 14-yard line as they look to get 6. Makes the move toward the middle, and a nice catch at the back of the end zone for 6. The Saints win this one by the final score of 26-21. Right on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, we had the Rams squeak to a 1-point victory. Over at M&T Stadium, we had the Ravens get nipped by 3 points. The Lions got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Ford Field. The Vikings won on the road and will now head home to meet the Lions. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Seahawks win their 9th game of the year. Steelers, Bengals. Doyle is always a threat to go out into the end zone, especially with the ball at the 20. And he does. The defense doesn't pick it up. Beautiful pass, touchdown. The Steelers go on to win this by the final score of 29-23. The Falcons won this contest and will now move to 1st place in the NFC South. Jerry Porter had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Tom Brady threw for over 200 yards and helped his Patriots beat the Dolphins. And in our final game, we had the Broncos come away victorious. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel, your work never ends, I know. Believe me, I know better than anybody else. But it's never too early to start thinking about next year's draft, is it?
Never too early indeed. And now that, for the most part, the regular season in college football is behind us, we can really start looking back at the guys that have impressed me the most across college campuses this year. Rose is one guy I look at that's come a long way the past couple of years to be where he is now. 6'2", 250, out of Arkansas State. And for a linebacker, not only is he big and physical, but he also hits the hole really well. Plus, he's a guy with excellent lateral movement, which enables him to move sideline to sideline with ease. Baldwin is another guy that's starting to make some noise with a terrific senior season. He was a virtual unknown coming into this year, but people are starting to project him to have a solid NFL career. I'm starting to jump on the bandwagon as well. So that'll do it for now, but you can guarantee that the big board is going to see a lot of risers and fallers between now and April.
So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.